everyone, it's Jessica Rodriguez here from freedomdrivensuccess.com, where we are on a mission to help powerful women just like you get your gifts and skill sets out to more people who need it without sacrificing the thing that you originally started your business for, and that is freedom. Now, I want to really create a conversation around this because this is something that affects so many businesses behind the scenes that really isn't being talked about a lot. And that is the fact that when you know you want to scale, you know you want to get out there in front of more people, it feels like this weird catch-22 because you have things that are already taking up your time in business. You're not brand new and starting everything fresh. You have daily activities that you are doing that are helping you to be where you're at right now. So you tend to fall into one of three categories. The first one is the fact that you currently have a booked out client list. So you have achieved the dream. Congratulations. You officially have a booked out business. However, at the same time, when you know that this isn't necessarily the life that you want to be living all the time and, being glued to your calendar and things like that, if that's not a good fit for you, which is probably why you're watching this video in the first place in this position, is that you feel like you never have the time that you actually need in order to create a course. Because right now, you are serving your clients. You are giving them exactly what they have invested into. You have put your heart into it. And of course, that is taking time on your part. And you don't want to sacrifice the quality that you give to your clients. So the course goes to the back burner because I just can't do it right now. I'm so booked out that I just need to get a handle of what's in front of me. Number two has you in a spot where maybe you have a few clients, but you're not necessarily at your income goal. So this means that while you are serving the clients over here, you still need to get some more clients as well. So you're still marketing for new clients and doing discovery calls and things like that, which means that if I am balancing both sides of this, serving the clients I have and getting new clients in, how can I possibly have time for a course on top of that when I already have these two different energy pools that are happening at any time? Spot number three is the fact that you're currently in the dip. So this is the part that nobody likes to share about working with one-on-one clients, is that sometimes you just can't predict what's going to happen. So what starts to happen is you have this really high month and you're like, yes, everyone paid in full or whatever the situation is. And then all of a sudden those contracts are done and you didn't get a new set of people. Maybe people didn't renew or whatever happened. And then it goes right back down. You're like, I'm never going to do this again. I'm never going to do this again. And then you go up and then you go down, right? And it keeps going through this process, which is just emotionally and mentally taxing, of course, as a business owner. But this also puts you in a position of there's definitely no time that I can create a course because I have to fill these spots. I have to do this. And I have to focus all of my efforts here. And if I don't do this, my business is going to crumble. And there's so much fear going on, right? Because things feel unstable. And because you do need to be making money as a business owner. So if you've been in one of these three spots, you can definitely feel free to comment below. Just say me, and I'm going to put my hands up too. I've been in all three. Okay, I think it is just something that happens when we have one-on-one reliant business models. It's part of why I'm so passionate about talking about this and really having these open conversations with women who are going through these periods in their business and what we can do to actually bring the kind of business model that works best for you to the front. So the funny thing about being in one of these positions is the fact that it contradicts everything you actually desire. You want to have more time. You want to have more freedom to live the life that you've been working your butt off for. You want to be able to have financial security, and you want to be able to use that money to help your life, to help others' lives, to make a difference with that. However, when you're in one of those three spots, it's really hard to have any of that because everything starts to feel like it's ready to crumble at any time, or you're ready to crumble at any time, to be honest, depending on what the situation is. So here's what we really need to do in order to examine it for what it is and then take steps that allow you to set your business up for the scalability you want and honor your current time schedule. Whether you are fully booked out, whether you're not booked out at all and really need to, build some income for yourself, this will still work. You can still create a course no matter what your schedule is looking like and your demands, The truth is, time is something we all either create or take away from ourselves. So if you are learning strategies that you can really apply, then you're going to be able to fit creating this asset in your business, aka a course that will allow you to get off that roller coaster, right? That allows you to step back from any of those three spots and not make that your normal, but to make freedom-driven success your new normal. So how do we do that? Because I know it all sounds great in theory, right? But let's actually break this down. So the first one is to check your mindset. Now, I am not a mindset coach. I'm not going to pretend to be. However, I'm also not going to pretend that mindset does not make a huge impact in the strategies that we implement in our business. So I want to ask you if there has been a seed planted within your mind, and you're going to know this, if you believe that one-on-one is the fastest way to cash. Now, this typically gets planted early on, and it's because we originally started our business with getting one-on-one clients, and I believe in that, right? Like, I am totally about starting with one-on-one clients, really seeing if you love serving people in that capacity, loving to see that you're getting results and everything's validated, and then once you get to a course, it's so much easier, right? You know you want to create off this topic. You know you love helping people with this. Now we're just amplifying that, and then you get to make the choice if you still want to take one-on-one clients alongside of it or not. It's up to you. But since we start that way, our mind starts to play those tricks of, well, if that's how I first made money, then that's how I always make money fast. And when we see different strategies of business of how can you make money fast, they go right to one-on-one. Because why? You can charge a higher price tag for it and all these different things. And if you only need to sell to one versus three, it's obviously easier to sell to one. So let's just do that. All of those stories keep going, right? And they keep creating roots within your mind. And then what starts to happen is that you do not take any action that goes against that. So if you have a belief that one-on-one is the fastest way to cash, then of course you are not going to set aside the time to actually work on outlining a course. You are not going to set aside the time to launch that course, or you're not going to stick with it if it doesn't do what you want right away, because there is that belief that, you know what? One-on-one is the fastest way to cash. So why am I even bothering with this? Nobody wants to waste time, right? So why am I even bothering this when this happens? Now, let me tell you the funny thing, because right now, if I was looking to make money quickly in my business for whatever reason, I wouldn't go for a one-on-one offer. I would take one of my courses and I would create some kind of email and social, campaign, put it out there, get those sales, and then I don't have to think about any of the things that happen after, right? Especially if it's a passive course, that's all automated as far as following up with people and things like that. So there is no Voxer access, there's no calls to book, all of that kind of stuff. I don't have to worry about that. So really the fastest way to cash is for me to send some emails and post on social media for this offer that I have. Now, it's because I originally took the time to create these courses in my business, right? I originally took the time to say, you know what, I'm going to break this belief. And first I found somebody who was a positive proof for me. And I said, well, if they can do it, so can I. It's just a matter of trusting the process and taking the steps, right? Taking the actions. So once I was able to do that, then it allowed me to create that positive proof in myself of, you know what, one-on-one actually isn't the fastest way to cash. There's a lot more support. There's a lot more that goes into it, discovery calls, all that kind of stuff, than it would be to just pull one of the offers I have now and sell it that way. So same thing for you. Just make sure that mindset isn't holding you back, because it's going to dictate your actions and what you do. The second thing I want you to take a look at is if you are falling into the masses. And when I say that, I mean the messaging of the masses around course creation. Now, there is no secret to the fact that you're going to put in work, right? Creating anything in your business is going to take work. Just like when you started getting one-on-one clients, you had to outline your offer, you had to test it out, you had to figure out the pricing, all of that kind of stuff. You had to put it out to people and really figure out what that sales process looked like for you. The same thing is going to happen when it comes to courses. You're going to have work to put in. My goal is to help you take intentional action on that work so that that work actually works for you. So it's not wasted time. So if you are consuming all of these different strategies around course creation that are made for the masses, which means people that haven't started a business at all yet, people who have been in business for a few months but haven't made any sales, people that are in completely different types of business than you are. It kind of goes out with that blanket message of like, anyone can create a course, I'll show you how. Well, when you start taking those strategies, they're not right for you. You have a different way of business. You have much different worries that you're having. So you are worried about losing the connection that you have. You're worried about people not getting the same transformation one-on-one that you do with a course. Like, there are so many different intricacies that go on, besides the fact that your launch plan will also be a lot different. Your audience pool will be different right now, depending on if you have been basing your business off referrals, if you have a list, if you don't, if they're the right people. There's so many different pieces that relate specifically to your business, that if you're consuming information that just feels heavy for you, that feels like another thing on the to-do list, that feels like, oh great, here's more things I can't accomplish, you're not doing yourself any favors. Because just like we talked about that mindset, you're consistently feeding yourself the story that I can't do this. This is for other people, but not for me. I don't have enough time. All of those things that start to happen, those stories build from consuming information for the masses instead of consuming information, and of course I would say implementing as well, that are in alignment with where you are in your business and your specific needs. So I want you to just get aware of that, because we can all be guilty of falling into that kind of content and that information, but I want you to start being the person that is protecting your own energy, that is protecting the knowledge that is coming into your mind, and make sure that it is energy or knowledge that is actually serving you. And that includes me. If you're listening to me right now and you're like, she's not my jam, she moves her arms too much or whatever, like, great, I want you to go consume something else. Like, I want you to actually pull in content and learn from content and take action on content that matches who you are and what you need right now. Because you're in a very, very special stage in your business, which means you need to navigate it with a strategy that feels good. Now, I will tell you that the easiest way I do this for myself, because of course I'm learning from different people and different things, and I'm always evolving on what I'm working on. So if I am seeing any kind of strategy out there, whether it's a launch strategy or a creation strategy, anything like that, if every time I see it, I feel either less than, I feel like, oh my God, I still have so much to do, if I feel like I can never navigate that in my time frame, it's simply not the right solution for me. There are thousands of ways to build any one business. And even when I'm in clients to courses and we teach on launching, I show people exactly how to like add the pieces that fit for their business, how to actually create the course that is the right fit for their audience, their business, and their lifestyle, like aligning all three of those, because you're so different. So I use that as my own litmus test when I am consuming anything and or purchasing anything, of seeing if I already feel that way up front, this just isn't the way for me, and it's okay. I don't need to buy into the hype. I don't need to buy into because other people are. Like, forget about that. What actually fits me and my vision? And I feel like I could soapbox on that one, so I'm going to switch to the third one before we get crazy here. And the final one is that I want you to really, from a strategic side, do this next. And that is to take on one more client in your business. And that client is the best client ever, because it's you. Now, this is where it gets really fun, because you would give calls to your clients, right? So I want you to go to your scheduler and pick out your call times for yourself. So this is your time that you're going to mark off as busy. So that means if you're using any of those auto schedulers like I do, it makes it nobody can book a call with you and you're like, oh, oops, like I need to take this call. I know it happens. So I want you to go in and mark yourself busy. So if you give calls to your clients once every week, once every other week, you're going to schedule that same time for yourself. I want you to just get started with these initial steps so that you can see what's possible. So go ahead and block yourself out for your calls. However many calls you need in a month, you are now your own client during that time. Then the next thing I want you to do is to give yourself in between call support. So just like your clients, I want you to just start with an hour. We don't have to do anything crazy. A lot of us, like, we're a society that lives in extremes. So let's not do like, I have to do everything all at once, because that's how nothing gets done, right? So instead, what I want you to do is also go back into your calendar, and I want you to pick 2 30-minute blocks for yourself during a week. You have them. Trust me, you have them. So I want you to, it doesn't matter the day, doesn't matter the time. Remember, you get to choose this. It's your business, it's your life, and you're your own ideal client. So you work on the best hours for you. So whether it's Monday, you have a 30-minute gap that you want to do, and then you want to do another one on Thursday, that's fine. I want you to offer yourself that time for some additional support as well. So this will make it that you are blocking out your calendar, and this is time for you. Now, when that time hits, this is where self-discipline comes in, because I want you to make it that that time has a name that means something to you. So whether it is your why of like why creating a course actually matters to you, why you want that scalability, it's financial freedom, whatever it's going to bring into your business, I want you to name those times with that, because that is that nudge, right? Every time it comes off on your phone, you're like, oh yeah, like it's important. For me, I have an alarm that goes off at 7:50 every morning that literally just says health equals wealth with a heart. That's it. And it's just because if I haven't gotten myself to the gym yet, or outside to work out, this is my way of nudging me of like, you're important, go move your body, right? Like go do the things. So you're creating that for yourself, but in this area, right? So you'll have that go off on your calendar, you know that is time. And during that time, what I want you to work on is following a system that is going to align with where you are right now. So turning your one-on-one into courses, the best of what you do one-on-one into an online course. I want you to work through your roadmap. If you know that like, hold on, I just need to learn about this first, right? Like there's just been so much noise within my mind. I've tried things, they didn't work. Like I kind of just want to start at the beginning. Okay, then fine. You're probably going to want to get on my free masterclass that shows you exactly how to turn your one-on-one offer into a profitable course. So if you go to freedomdrivensuccess.com/class, you'll be able to access that. So maybe that's going down one of the times that you have selected for yourself as a client. Okay, great. You know that already. Maybe you have a program or something you've already been through and you're like, I just need to do it. I just need to sit down and do the work. In that case, now you have the time to work through each module or each lesson or whatever it is that you need to work through. If you are creating your launch plan, like this is the time you're going to start, because here's the magic of this. We get led into this belief of, okay, if you decide you're going to add a course to your business, like you need to do it this week, you need to do it within the next 2 weeks, the next month, da, da, da. Well, it depends on your schedule. So if you're able to get it done quickly, I have launched courses in a matter of 2 weeks. Like that's fine if you can do that. But if it takes you a couple of months because of the time that's allowed, fine. Does it matter if you still get to the same end goal? No. Like whose timeline are we running on? We own it. So this at least allows you to start the process. Because once you get those first steps and you start to see that momentum and you're like, oh wait, I'm getting really excited about this idea. I have this outline. I can do this with it. Like you start to get that positive momentum. I would not be surprised if you automatically started finding more time in your schedule. Because once that belief hits, once that excitement hits, you start to find the time real quick because it's just the way we are. So this allows you to slowly step into it, allow it to go right alongside your schedule, whatever it is. And then from there, you start to build that excitement, that belief, which makes you want to find more time, which makes you want to work it in your schedule, which makes you start to strategize from your CEO level of, hold on, like what can I do to get things into place to get this going quicker? You'll be able to make that decision for yourself versus somebody else making it for you and making you feel not good enough for not being far enough or whatever the case is, that you are being sold out there. And then the only other thing I want you to do is each Sunday, I want you to set an alarm, and this alarm will just go off that says, did you do it? That's it. Did you do it? And your goal is just to be honest with yourself. Did you commit to the time that you schedule for yourself that's specific to course creation? If you did, cool. Give yourself a high five, run around your house, dance, like whatever you need to do. I do all of it. You can do it, whatever makes you happy. If you didn't, you will start to see after a few weeks, you'll get sick of your own excuses, right? Like you will get sick of hearing yourself saying, oh, oops, oops, oops. So it'll fix it no matter what for you. It will get you to where you want to be. And while this may seem like, oh my God, it's such a small step, most people won't do it, which is why you'll continue the cycle of, okay, we're in those 3 positions in business over and over again. This starts to break the cycle, and it breaks it with the belief that you can always find that time, that you can always make it happen, and that it can happen no matter what is going on in your business. But we just got to take small steps in order to get there, build that, and then you can keep stacking on top of that. So if this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And of course, if you want to hear more about the power of courses within your business and how you can do it to really impact the world in a bigger way with your one-on-one expertise, head on over to the Freedom Driven Success podcast, where we have episodes waiting for you to help you even further in turning your definition of freedom-driven success into a reality. I'll talk to you soon.